Hi everybody, it's Dragana from Saacibo. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to visit eco printing again. We're going to be using fresh leaves and something else. Last video was a huge success. I managed to get some really colorful backgrounds just using dry petals, tea and onion skin. If you haven't seen it, I will put link down below in the description box. Tutorial is coming up, and don't forget to check out the last part of the video. I'll be showing you what I made with these little beauties. Let's start. I have a tray that can fit A4 size paper. This is just a scrap piece of paper that's a bit thicker at the bottom, and see A4 fits perfectly. I have some beetroot juice. This is actually pickled beetroot that was in a jar. I think just beetroot, salt, vinegar and water. And I drained it, ate the beetroot, but kept the juice. And over here I have only a little bit, but it's because I left it on the stove to boil too long and it just evaporated, but it might give me a stronger pigment. It's peel of 2 oranges cooked in 2 cups of water. And here I have iron mordant, if that's the right word, I think, which is basically a cup of white vinegar with a cup of water and some rusty nails, and I had them sitting like that for about 1 week, and I just strained a little bit of that liquid and I put it in here. And I want to see, I've never worked with this before, I just want to see what I can achieve. And today I only have greens, like you can see some grasses, some strawberry leaves, some of that weed. It's just so interesting. Look at the shape of the leaves. Some dandelion leaves. So I'll just be experimenting with the greens, and for the color I'll be using those dyes that I've shown you. And first I want to try some just without the greens, just to see what sort of colors these would give me. So I'll just spray a little bit. This is just some iron water, because it might react with the beetroot juice and orange juice. Okay. So I'll just do a few plain ones, and I'm using the copy paper for the plain ones because they're at the bottom, so they're less likely to tear. I won't be putting any leaves on them. Just make a few, maybe some just with that. And some just with this. I don't like how is this spraying, but I can't help it. Just the orange, and here we can have just the beetroot. I love this color. I wonder if it's going to stay like this. Alright, so enough. I'll just put one more on top. So now I will continue using these thicker papers, 200 GSM, also A4, it says here. It's a sketch pad, so the paper is quite thick. And I like it, I really like it. It's durable. Okay. So I also want to try with this, if that would do, or maybe I'll do one like that. So I'll put this down, and then I'll just spray with this first. how this sprays, but that's all right. So I'll place that down like that. Now I will spray with beetroot. All right, and another. Okay, now I'll spray. I think iron water is meant to give us like better color absorption. I'm not sure, but I want to try it. And I'm going to spray with this orange. It doesn't look like a very strong pigment, but you never know. Okay. Now I want to continue working with the leaves, so I thought maybe I can just spread this on the paper, just iron water, and then arrange the leaves. I think I want to use them without the stems, because stems kind of almost like look like embossing, so they make dents in the paper, and I want them to really be flat, touching this surface. I'm really excited to see how is this going to turn out. Last time I've done it with flower petals was a real success. I really love those papers. Hopefully these ones will turn pretty as well. Might even overlap some of them. Alright, I think it's quite enough. So I'm going to spray now with the beetroot juice on top. And with a little bit of orange. Okay, and I'm going to place this one. Okay, now again, just some iron. Look how it changed my brush. Oh my god, I hope it's not going to be too dark. That's a beautiful leaf, but I can't have this thick stem here. This one even has a hole in it. I picked leaves with holes in them on purpose, because I think that would give it more character. Don't mind if they overlap slightly. I think in those areas where they overlap, there might be a different shade. Okay, so now I'm going to spray with beetroot. I won't spray with the other one. Alright, okay. I can't believe what the iron water did to my brush. I don't think I'll be able to wash this. Anyway, okay, now my favorite, strawberry leaves. Oh, these are gorgeous, but I will not use the stems, because once I press everything down, they're quite thick, and the paper just, it makes indentations in paper, and I don't like it. So it will be maybe even just like that. Maybe I'll separate them and just place them. Yep, that's what I'll do. I've been wanting to do a nature themed journal for so long now, and it seems to be that I'm just preparing for it. It's like I'm making new papers, and it's kind of been a while since I've made a journal. That's it. So now I'm going to spray with orange water first, and only a little bit of beetroot. Dandelion leaves, I love these. But they seem to be curling, so I think I'm going to put them face down. What else can we have there? Ah, these are gorgeous. And they're quite soft, maybe. I can use some of them. That's good. Okay. Now again, I will spray with orange. And only a touch of, maybe just the top bit. I should have done the other way around, but that's all. We'll see what we'll get. I love this paper. Let's have more of these. Perhaps this one would be alright to use. The stem is quite thin and we are getting towards the topper layers, so some grass. So we get some lines. This is like collage, it's just that instead of pictures you're collaging plants. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I have no idea what the result is going to be, which makes it even more exciting. I think that's quite enough. Alright, so this time we'll spray the orange on top. And we'll spray this down the bottom. Just to give that illusion. I suppose this is going to get darker, this might stay lighter. Almost like a landscape. Okay, now this way it goes everywhere, but it's got these cute little leaves, so I'm just going to cut them this. The stem is too thick and juicy. I don't want to risk any tears in my papers. And look, it has little purple flowers. So these, sometimes they fall on the face, sometimes on their back, but I don't mind, so we can get variations in colors, I suppose. Maybe, but these I'll just use the orange. Just to have something a little bit different. A few people have asked me if I know if these are color fast when you do eco dyeing. To be honest, I don't know if they're gonna last if you leave them in the sunlight. They might fade, you know. And one good thing is that if they turn out really good, I turn them into digitals, and that way they're never lost. I get to print them and use them as you would any other digital or scrapbooking paper, so it doesn't really matter. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I'll put more layers on top. Probably finish with the grass. I won't go overboard with putting heavy things on top. I don't want to squash it too much. Just a couple of books, I think. I think I will just spray a little bit on the top with the orange water. I'll spray a little bit more of the iron water down the bottom. And just a splash of red. And I'll just do one more with the grasses, but I'll do it more abstract. Perhaps with this one, I won't put anything else, just that. But I'll spray maybe this a little bit to get some moisture. Okay, that is it. I'm just playing now. And I'll just put one more piece of paper on top to finish it off. Okay. And oops, the usual. Put this. That and that. Now we wait. It's been roughly 24 hours and I'm really excited to see what we have here. Very beautiful color, really orangey. So I'm very happy with this. Nice variations. These might still change as they dry, but so far I'm loving this rusty water, orangey brown color of the rust. It's beautiful. I like how these leaves left an imprint. I really like that. I'm thinking once they dry, I could even go over with a pencil or a marker and just define those edges even more. Just keep working on it. Okay, it's a nice one. Just place it on top of that one now. This should be good, I think. Oh, look how these stems left really nice lines there. Beautiful. Nice. It's pretty. But now I don't want to place anything on top of that one. So we'll just put this one separately. These strawberry leaves, they always work really well. I think this one is gorgeous. Love it. Wow. This one's pretty too. Perhaps I should hang them like this to dry. I'll just keep placing them on the acetates and letting them dry separately. Now, let's see what we have. That's so pretty. That is absolutely amazing. Oh my God. I'm in love with this one. Honestly, this is the best one so far. It even looks good on this side. But this, beautiful imprint. So I suppose beetroot juice. We don't really have any red pigments. Perhaps next time maybe I can try without it. See if that's gonna make any difference. I was hoping for something like this. Really earthy colors. Because last time we got these beautiful bright purples and reds and greens. And I wanted more of the browns. It's one. Nice. Let's see. Can't really tell, perhaps on this side a little bit. But this side is interesting. It's from the paper. how it's sort of wrinkled, and it left an imprint on this one. These are just copy papers, so they're really thin. Should be very careful not to break them. But they turn out beautiful. Wow. Perhaps I can take them out all together and leave them to dry like that, because I'm scared if I try to separate them now that they're wet, I might break them. So I'll just take them all. And it seems to me that they're all similar color, although I did spray with different colors, but they all turned rusty, which is alright with me, I don't mind. And that's the bottom one. That's a cool one as well. Okay, I'll leave that one in there to dry. Okay, now let's give them some time to dry, and then we will look at them later on. Our eco prints are ready to be viewed. Let's have a look. These were the top ones. I'm working my way from the top towards the bottom. These some have interesting splatters. I think orange water and beetroot juice reacted with rust, and in some areas created these lighter or darker shades. Similar on this side here as well. I really like how this one turned out, although I'm not very happy about these white areas. I think when I was using my brush, I probably missed a few spots when I was applying the rust. And if I remember correctly, I sprayed extra rust down the bottom, and I sprayed orange water on the top. And look at the shades. It's from lighter to darker. I actually really like this effect, because where we sprayed with orange water, we got kind of different shades of brown where the grass and leaves were. Where here, where we put more rust, we have more defined edges and darker contrast in color. But very nice, I think. The back's not too exciting. Here as well, I think these were the areas where I sprayed beetroot. That's a very interesting one. We have a lot of little leaves showing. Now that everything is dry, I think these areas in between the leaves are much lighter. Where the leaves are, they're a bit orangey, and in some areas it's really dark. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think I sprayed this one with orange water and just a little bit of beetroot juice. So anyway, very interesting. Look how many colors we got. Really nice. Again, back not very exciting. Here as well, I like this one really. This leaf almost looks like a flower. This one as well. Here we have the perfect imprint of a little leaf, and we have again orange and sienna brown and some more like almost like when you dye your papers with coffee, and a little bit gray here. It's probably where it mixed with the orange water. It's very nice. Again, not so much on this side. All right, I can see them right here. I think where the leaves touched the paper really well, that's where the rust was trapped underneath, and the color is really orangey. And when we sprayed the rest with either beetroot juice or with orange water, those areas became much lighter and more brownish rather than reddish or rusty. Very nice. I like this one too. This one looks alright on this side. I think those were the strawberry leaves that we took apart and spread them out. And I think I used, was it just orange water? Yes, yes. That's why we have this subtle effect. The orange water made the rust really light and exposed the leaves. They look really nice. I really like this one. So I have to do more like that. Even this one looks interesting. And this one we sprayed with just beetroot juice. This is the best one of them all, I think. I just love this one. It looks even better now that it's dry. Look. And if I remember correctly, I sprayed this one with beetroot juice on top. Once the leaves were down, I sprayed just with beetroot juice. So again, beetroot made the rust water lighter. Definitely made it lighter. And this is probably the areas where there was more rust, where the leaves overlapped, it became darker. Oh, this is so pretty. Very nice, I love it. Interesting on this side as well. Now that one has a very nice imprint here. A little bit there. Here as well, really pale looking. I'd probably cut this one up in sections and make tags and add some more drawings. Over here as well we have some, but it's more like, I don't know, as if too much of everything. So it's kind of liquidy looking, but it's still very nice variations of color. But these ones, I don't know how I feel. They're just mess. I suppose I can use them as a base to do more stenciling or painting on top. The pattern from that tablecloth does show a little bit, but it actually shows better on this side. Still, it's kind of grungy looking, which is alright for, you know, that's what you're after. But at the moment, maybe I'll like them later on. At the moment, I'm not really fond of them. Okay, and the plain copy paper turned out absolutely beautiful, because I can see how when we sprayed with those 3 different dyes, it created like patterns, and the paper for some reason wrinkled along the middle. And I just love it, and I really do really would look really nice in a journal. Look at that. They're beautiful. And I remember that I sprayed either with beetroot juice, or just rust, or with orange water, but they all turned out similar. I suppose because they're thin and the dye kind of went through them. So I think they're just gorgeous. And I love the fact that they're so wrinkled. Really beautiful. Love it. This one as well. So in conclusion, like you know, the orange water did not really have such a strong pigment, but where we applied it, it actually worked on the rust or the beetroot juice in a way to create lighter shades. Perhaps if I just sprayed with clear water, that would do the trick, or maybe not. It's something that I can work on to experiment further on. But I love it. I love these. This one is really dark down the bottom. Rust or more beetroot juice. I don't know. This one as well. I love how this one turned out. I think that color was there before. The paper already had some color, and it's just one shade on this side. But what I did after I saw these, I thought, how can I compare them if I haven't tried doing this with just rust? So no beetroot, no orange juice, just rust water. So I did it, and have a look at the difference of the shades. This is much darker color, more saturated, a more rich, really orangey looking, and it's beautiful in its own way, while this is more subtle effect, but both beautiful in their own way. So let's just go through these. You see here how that turn, I used the same leaves, and I love this one. This is alright in some areas, but it's more dramatic, and it might work in a journal as well, but I just love this one so much more than I love this. It's still very good, but I could have it in a journal, but in smaller pieces, not like a whole page, definitely. And these printed then on both sides. You see these as well, much better imprint. You can see the shapes defined, but really dark, really dark. With the strawberry leaves as well. Let's just compare them. That's with the beetroot and orange water added to the rust. This is just rust. So much better defined leaves, but also much darker. This is more subtle. Oh, that was probably, yeah, the other side. This as well. Again, beautiful, beautiful textures, really dramatic. These ones as well. Look at that. I'm thinking I could even just fussy cut these out and have them as a decorations in journal. Just the leaves, just cut them out. That would be interesting. These actually turn out really, really well. Really well. These ones as well. So with using this method, you can actually have the leaves really, you know, put in a line and do this, and then just cut them out like you would fussy cut them and have them in your journals. That would look awesome, I think. I might play with that. Again, these beautiful, beautiful. And that's really dramatic, but beautiful texture. Okay, so we've seen those, and then I experimented further on. I just wanted to dye some of my papers, just plain papers. So I used only rust on these ones. Look at the color, beautiful orange color. Some of them turn out really, really good. So this is just the iron mordant or rust water. And this is just beetroot juice. Gave me this lovely pink. Again, the paper wrinkled for some reason, which I don't mind. I think it looks really cool, but beautiful color, especially when you see it next to this one. And then I tried using just orange peel water. You can probably not see it very much, but when I put the paper next to it, just white paper, you can see that it's almost a little bit bluish or greenish, with the edges being just lightly yellow. So I wouldn't use it on its own to color paper, but I wanted to see what it does. But I'd use it with other things, maybe even with the coffee dye or tea, beetroot juice with rust. It just gives really nice kind of variations in shades. It also smells really lovely. I love oranges. All right. Oh, I just want to show you just the plain. This was dyed with a mixture of tea and onion skin, just for the comparison. I'll put them over here. There's the little note here. And to these I added a bit of parsley and spinach that I cooked for like half an hour. I just wanted to get some green papers, but I keep getting the yellow ones. Here as well, spinach and parsley, just yellow. Look, that's another shade. It's amazing what we can get just from nature. Alright, now that I've shown you all the prints that I made, I want to show you a few things that I made with them. Ta-da! I had so much fun making all of this. It's going to be in my nature themed journal. Actually, there will be several of them, I think, by the looks of it. So I just had so much fun, and I really, really loved how they all turned out. Look at that. I've used one whole sheet to create this envelope, and I backed it up with some cotton, and I put some goodies inside, just stamped here and here and here as well. Glued the fabric, then I stitched around, and I just put a hole here so it can be closed like that. I really love it. Almost looks like leather, doesn't it? So that's the envelope pouch. Okay, then I made some tags. I used one whole sheet that I cut in 3, and I used my die cut on these. I had these pictures of mushrooms that I think I waxed this paper. I put some fabric, just backed it up with the plain tea stain paper, and I think they're just gorgeous. I really love them. What else? Oh yeah, I made these bookmarks. Oh, this was so much fun. Also used one of the prints, and I stenciled this feather image, and then I went over with the sewing machine just to kind of make these lines stand out a little bit more. I just put like a tassel over here, and I made these. So they're meant to go into a journal, and this is meant to be out and that down. They're like a real bookmarks for the journals, and I made 3 of them. That's why I'm thinking there will be at least 3 journals. But it's really, really fun. I really like these as well. All right. And you know, my favorite prints, I decided to cut this one in 2 because I think those would make really awesome journal toppers. You know, the front of the journal. I haven't decided what else I'm going to include and how, so I didn't do anything for now, but they're going to be on top of a journal somehow. And this one as well. I really like this one as well. Okay, what else? Oh, I made some postcards. Again, I cut out one piece in 4. I backed it up with some tea stained paper, and I stamped this, and I drew the lines, all of them. And I also had these little tabs, and I just created some dangles here with the images that I stamped on the paper. And this one also stamped and stitched and then glued, so I also did a bit of stenciling here. Now this one as well, I think this was stamping, and this dangle has a butterfly image. And they're meant to be go either like this or like that in the journal on the side. pocket. This one as well. I love this one. I stamped those leaves and the script. What do we have here? We have a bee. And this one's also stamped, but I used green ink. And we also have a butterfly here. Okay, so that's those. Oh yeah, and then I made some of these tickets. And then I layered them with some fabric. And I had this from before, just a round, like a charm. And I added a bead charm here. And this can go on a spine or somewhere inside of the journal. And I made 3 of those. This one is with the tree, that's with the bee, and this one's with the ladybug. I like this one. Okay, and over here I have some ready-made, like if I decide to put it in a journal and stitch or just glue. So I already put these through the sewing machine, but I left these plain because I don't know how I'm going to use them yet. So I made some more images that I stamped on, and I turned them into side little pockets. These are like top loading pockets. And then I just had some few bits and pieces of paper left, so I just stamped some bees, a bird nest, a butterfly. But look at those tickets. On that grungy paper that I didn't like, when I stamped the tickets on, it just looked so good. I think so anyway. And I made some of these that I can use somewhere in the journal. Have this stamp, and I glued some fabric on, and they can go somewhere. And oh, I forgot about these. These are made with that grungy paper that I didn't like. How awesome are they? You know, the one with the tablecloth that I didn't know how I felt about it. And I thought, oh, I'll just cut it out because I didn't like it. But then it turned out so good. It's actually really good. And I just turned them into specimen cards. And I have a few smaller ones here. So I had so much fun. Now all that's left to do is make a journal. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something and it gave you some ideas and inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, and I see you in my next video. Bye for now.